Do you sometimes struggle making decisions? Maybe there are some decisions right now that you keep postponing. Should I stay? Should I go in this place, in this relationship, in this job? What is it that I want to do with my life? Should I try to offer this or that? Should I change my positioning or offer in my business? We are confronted with so many decisions every single day, and the ability to make quick decisions with clarity and precision is one of the most important skills if you want to move forward with your life. And on the other hand, it is the most painful feeling to just stand at the crossroads all of the time, asking yourself, which direction should I take? If you were narrating the story of your life and you're writing the story every single day and every moment, then it would probably look something like this. He went for a walk. He wanted to go and explore the beautiful mountains. Then he came to a crossroad, and he could go to the left or to the right. He looked at the left, then he looked at the right. And then he looked at the left again, then he looked at the right. And he started thinking, should I go left? Should I go right? And he kept thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. The days went by, he was still standing at the crossroads, and he felt more and more under pressure because he knew, I need to choose a path so that I can get to the place where I can stay the night, so that I can find the place where I can eat. But which of these paths will lead me to the place where I can eat and sleep? And he just kept thinking because he wanted to make the right choice, find the shortest way to the place where he could stay the night. He ended up sleeping by the crossroads. And this really illustrates our behavior on a day-to-day basis. We're standing in front of the decisions that shape our life story, and we're just standing there trying to gather more and more information, when one important reality that we just need to face is there is no right choice. Sometimes you gather some information and it will help you to feel good with one of the choices because evidence is overwhelming that this one might be leading you the right direction. But for most decisions in our lives, that's not the case. There will always be arguments for this, and there will always be pros and cons for this. So, what is it that keeps you in this loop of indecisiveness and overthinking? Really, it's fear, and we know it. First of all, it's the fear of making the wrong decision, or the fear of missing out on a better option. But what's below this fear of making the wrong choice? Simply said, it's the fear that if you don't make the right choice, you will suffer the consequences. You're not really afraid of making the wrong decision, are you? You're afraid of the consequences of that decision. Because you're thinking that if I would just make the right choice, if I just choose the right partner, the right place to live, the right offer for my company, then everything else will fall in place and I will be successful and happy and live a fulfilled life. And this is a story that you need to let go of. This is a lie. Because fulfillment and happiness and purpose and success are things that you build on an everyday basis. With the way that you show up today, with the actions that you take today. It's not this one choice that will determine the outcome for your life, but that's how we treat it. And that's why the tension and the pressure is so big. So, what can you do to make these decisions easier for yourself? Well, now that we know that the core thing is this fear, the first step is just being aware of that. Truly acknowledging that there is no right choice. But this doesn't change the fact that you're afraid. You're afraid of a future that you will not be able to handle. Afraid of a future that where you make the wrong business decision, you will be poor and that will make you unhappy. Your business will fail. You will be rejected if you choose this. You will be unhappy if you choose the wrong woman. Your relationship will break. So what does it take so that you feel more secure? Here it's important. We talked about parts work in another video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it to you in the description. Parts work is acknowledging the different parts of yourself, being aware that this fear is a part of you and it needs to be seen and respected. Imagine a little boy inside of you that's frightened by the decision that you have to make, that is frightened of the future. And yes, you can be mad at yourself for being so undecisive and tell yourself, just be a man and make a decision. But will that help to scream at a little child, telling him to just be more decisive? What does that child inside of you actually need? So, what I recommend to my clients is to embrace this fear, to hold space for it, to look at it, and to be there for it. Imagine it like taking this little child into your arms and saying, I know you're afraid. And it makes sense. The world is a big and powerful and overwhelming place sometimes. But I am here for you, and I will always be here for you. And this is what creates self-trust. This is what creates a security inside of yourself. The security that you will show up as your own best friend no matter the circumstances. So if this woman leaves you or she stays with you, if you get the promotion or you lose the job, it doesn't matter. It makes some differences in your life, yes, on the outside. But for how you treat yourself, how you feel with yourself, it doesn't change anything. As long as you can show up in this way for yourself. This is the security that you need. This is where true confidence comes from. It's not having everything. It's knowing that you can deal with whatever comes your way. And that doesn't mean always succeeding or achieving things. It means showing up for yourself, being your own best friend. This is what builds true trust. We always say, I need to trust life. In some way, that's true. You want to trust life to bring you good things, maybe. But is that really trust? If you say, I trust that this will happen exactly how I want it. No, that's not trust. You're making conditions for your trust. Trust means saying, you know what, life? Here I am. Bring it on. I'm here and I'm able to deal with it. I will show up for myself. You can take everything from me, but I will be here. This is your cornerstone. This is the foundation of your self-trust. If you can trust yourself this way, making decisions will become easy because you don't have to fear the future anymore. You don't have to fear the wrong choice. Here's one thing that you can do right now to change your perspective on making decisions and start moving forward with your life. Pick one of the choices that you've been postponing and ask yourself, what am I really afraid of that could happen? And look at that situation and ask yourself, if this happens, would I still be able to deal with it? Can I still be happy with my life if this happens? If the answer is yes, great. If the answer is no, ask yourself, what do I need to work on inside of myself so that I can say yes to this question? Remember that there is no wrong path. Every decision brings you forward. You will learn, you gain clarity. We will go into detail on this in the next video where I'll talk about how to gain clarity through making decisions. Because it's through action that we learn, that we understand what we want, what we don't want, what works, what doesn't work. It's not through thinking again and again, standing in front of these crossroads. So today, find some courage and start walking into one direction with the knowledge that you will find your way no matter what happens.